Hey, Jim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. Let me go ahead and get my camera set up here. All right, we'll get started. Let's see. Jim, can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can see you.
You can see me? All right, is your camera on?
You're not seeing my face.
I'm not seeing your face?
No.
Okay. Is everything okay?
Yep.
Everything's okay? You just kind of feel like you don't
No,
want to...
I live in Minnesota. I don't trust anybody.
I live in
You've been
Minnesota
watching
too,
the
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
it's
that
crazy
right?
what's going on in Minneapolis. I was just over there looking at that stuff. Over at the Leering Center. No worries. Well, I can go ahead and take you through this regardless. That's my job at the end of the day, just to make sure that, you're informed. I'm sorry, Jim, that we have to do things this way. I know it is weird to do things over a screen like this, but ever since 2020, they have us doing everything virtually, right? So,
Yep.
first things first, can you grab that blue folder? The last person you met with for your meeting would have gotten you one.
What blue folder?
You haven't had
never
this
got
meeting? You haven't had this meeting before?
20 years ago.
20 years ago you had this meeting?
I'm the one I was the state coordinator for ABATE when this whole thing started. I was the one that started it.
You started this whole thing, so you have a good idea of how everything goes with us.
Yes, that's why I know we don't have to do this.
Correct. You do not have to do this. It's just my job to make sure that you're informed. So if you haven't had a meeting before, I'll just back up and fill you in on what's going on. So AIL, we work with over 47,000, major organizations throughout North America, as you know, being the one that set this up. We work with firefighters, police officers, veterans, associations like the ABATE. Now, the only thing is we don't work with the general public. It's only because people like you, Jim, were able to set this up for their organizations that, you have the same opportunity to get these permanent benefits that all of these major groups have, right? So what they mean by permanent is everyone has benefits through their work. Right, Jim? Do you have benefits through your work?
I'm retired.
You're retired. Perfect. So what they realize is, for most of the members, you leave your job, change jobs, or ultimately, when you get to the stage you're in, retirement, you end up losing your benefits. So what they've done is they've set up more of a permanent program that's designed to stay with you, throughout your retirement, Jim, until the day that you die. So that all makes sense?
Yep.
Perfect. So my job's simple, Jim. I'm here for two reasons. Number one is to get that benefits package set up that ABATE wants you to have. We'll go through everything, get it activated. I'll answer any questions that you have. And then the second and the most important reason, as you know that they had me sit down with you today, is to see if we can get that permanent benefits package activated today, as long as you can qualify. So I just got to be honest with you, Jim. A lot of people don't qualify, so I just need you to be honest with me. And then either way, at the end of this, they just had me fill out a report form. So that just lets them know that, I'm here, I'm meeting with you, Jim, being courteous, taking care of you the best that I can. Does that sound fair?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Now, I can't see you, but I hope you can at least see the screen here. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you so you can see what we're looking at. Okay, can you see that? I just shared my screen with you. Should be a construction guy on a walkie-talkie.
Yep.
You can see that?
Yep.
Perfect. So I'll shoot you over an email of everything we go over today, Jim, and then as soon as we get off this call, if you do qualify for those permanent benefits, you will receive a hard copy of those in the mail. So let's go ahead and take a look here. This is the first thing. This is already activated for you. This is that group AD&D certificate that everybody's got filled out. So it has your beneficiary down as your son Bo. Is that still correct?
Yes.
Perfect. And you're over at that 418 North 3rd Street in Brainerd?
Yes.
Perfect. So that 3,500 is activated and in place for you. Nobody can take that away from you. So regardless, that's in place for you because of your good standing through abate. That 3,500 is going to pay out if you're killed in an accident. But on top of that, Jim, they have another $2,000 in accidental coverage for you. So this pays out if you're killed in an accident as well. So now you have $5,500 from your good standing. So I'm going to send this over to your email. All you got to do is print this off, fill out this basic information here, choose your beneficiary, and then mail it into this address above.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, Jim, when was the last time, with Bo and everything getting older and whatnot, that you were able to update your will?
I haven't updated it since I got my divorce.
You haven't updated it since you had your divorce. Okay.
But everything right now is in limbo because for the last 7 years and 9 months, I've been taking care of my dad
Right.
24/7 with all his stuff. He just passed away. We just had his funeral on this last Saturday. So now my brother, my sister, and I are going through all of his properties, all of his bank accounts, all of his everything. So I'm waiting till everything gets settled, and then I'm writing a new will after that.
Oh my gosh. Well, Jim, my condolences. It sounds like you're going through a lot right now.
Yeah, the moral of the story is the old will is obsolete, but I am planning on doing a new one when everything gets settled with my 2 siblings.
Okay. Absolutely. And through your good standing with the abate, they realize that, most families, and procrastination's real, most families aren't trying to spend $800 to $1,500 a person to set up or update a will. So what they established is what they call the Family Information Guide. So this helps assist with that whole process, Jim. So the first section here is just all your basic information. So this acts as a free will. Perfect. And your birthday's at 5/20.
Yes.
Okay. My birthday is the 25th. Just before me there. Best email to send this to, Jack.
Yes.
All right. So this will all go over there. Now, the most important section here for you, Jim, is your persons to be notified. Who are the top people that can be here for you in the event of an emergency or even death? So, there are a couple more spaces if you'd like to have some more emergency contacts. Probably isn't necessary, but I'll send that over to you. This will be your document here. This does become a legal document, so you can take it into your bank and they'll have it notarized for you. So next is your insurance policies. Who do you carry your life insurance through, Jim?
No, you're it.
Sorry?
I don't have any.
Okay, you don't have any? All right. Well, if you are able to qualify for the permanent benefits, you can put those here in pen because you will own those for the rest of your life. Now, next is your financial information. Do you use a credit union or a bank, Jim?
Both.
Both? Okay. And were you able to get your PODs set up with them?
What is that?
Good question. So, POD is payable on death. So, God forbid, I'm knocking on wood, something were to happen to you, Jim, tomorrow, who would be authorized to have access to your bank accounts?
I'm assuming if I did it, it would be Bo, because I always put him on there so he can disperse it to his brothers. But I'm not sure. And again, when all of this with my dad gets settled, then I have to go into the banks and redo a whole bunch of stuff. So
Okay.
that'll be updated also.
Okay. Smart. We just recommend to all the members, because it is at no cost to you, to give your bank and your credit union a call. Say, hey, I'd like to get my POD set up. That way they'll walk you through that process. And that way, if there's any nightmare situation that does happen, you have that safety net in place, and you don't have to deal with probate, estate planning, because unfortunately, the banks and the credit unions, they are kind of out to screw people if they don't have that set up. So we just make sure, because it's very easy to do, to kind of get that in place. So the last section here for you, Jim, is your funeral service requests. Obviously, that's not something we wake up in the morning stressing about or thinking about, but it's obviously something that's very unexpected and unplanned. So they just set this area up so that nobody in your family gets left guessing. So this does all become a legal document. So all you need to do is just take it into your bank or your credit union, and they'll have it notarized for you. And then you can keep it at home with all of your important papers. Does that all make sense?
Yep.
All right. Perfect. So, Jim, the best part about your benefits is because you are a member in good standing with the Abate for over 20 years now, they've set up
30. It's 30 years.
30 years. Incredible. And because
Well, whatever, late 80s, how long ago was that? I'm not real good at math.
I'm not either. Late 80s. That is about 30 years. 85 would be 40 years, actually. Well, they have set up $20,000 worth of benefits packages for your closest family members and friends that you would consider family, Jim. So what they'll receive, because of your good standing, is that same $2,000 AD&D certificate. They'll receive a family information guide of their own. So, your brother and your sister, you're going through all that stuff, getting things mixed up. It's important that they have that. And then if they have kids, we have some child safety kits and stuff like that in place for the kids. But they don't have to. You see how important that is, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. So the only thing they do have to do is they have to be able to qualify. They must be 18 years or older. They're working or retired, because these benefits are for the working class families. And they can't be in any trouble with the law, because unfortunately they don't let me have a Zoom call with somebody in jail yet. So first thing we'll do, Jim, is we'll just go ahead and we'll activate all of your persons to be notified. That's the 3 boys and your brother and your sister. And through your good standing, who else would you like to extend your benefits out to?
Nobody.
Nobody?
No.
No friends? Nobody that you can think of that would appreciate, a $2,000 AD&D certificate and a free will?
No.
No other members of the Abate?
No.
All right. No problem. These are yours to extend however you please. If you'd like, we can hold them for the next Abate member. Is that something you'd like to do, or would you like to just get rid of the benefits completely?
You mean the benefits for everybody else, or just the benefits for me, or what are you talking?
So they give you $20,000 worth of packages to extend out to your closest family members and friends, other members of the Abate. You have $10,000 left to extend. Would you like me to hold those for another member, or would you
Am
like?
Am I paying for those?
No, this is through your good standing.
Okay. There might be more, but my brain hasn't been working for a couple weeks, so I don't know right now.
Holiday season, and I know it's been a difficult time. Well, I'll tell you what. We don't usually do this, but I can hold your benefits for another week or so. If there's any other names that you'd like to extend out, I'll see what we can do. But for now, we'll just make sure we get your son, your 3 boys, and your brother and your sister involved in the program. So the best way to go about doing this is we'll just put them in a quick 3-way text. I'll explain, who I am, what you're able to do for them through your good standing with the Abate, and what's going on here. So, Jim, was your son, was he a 507 or a 218 number?
I have no idea what their phone numbers are. I don't know what their emails are. I don't know any of that stuff.
Okay, well, the only thing we need to do is just the phone number. So the good part about the way we're doing this meeting is you can see what's going on, but you can also leave this page and you can go into your contacts. Do you have your son in your contacts?
Oh my God, I don't want to deal with this today. I just don't want to deal with all of that. I'm not going to go digging for phone numbers. I'm not digging for addresses. I just don't want to deal with this today.
Hey, Jim, I completely understand.
I don't think you do. I honestly don't.
Jim, I'm here to help. If you don't want to give your benefits out right now, it doesn't change, my day at all. I'm here to help you. Okay? So the only thing that I'm supposed to do, and what they would get mad at me if I didn't do, is if I didn't make sure you're fully informed of your benefits. And this is just one of the main parts of your good standing, is they allow you to extend out all this coverage to your friends and family. But if you don't want to do it today, it's no problem. I got no issue with that. I just want to make sure you're informed.
Okay, I am informed. I don't want to deal with it today.
Okay, not a problem. So I will just go ahead and move forward here. And then when you feel a little bit better about doing it, maybe we build a little bit better relationship, Jim. I know you set this up with the Abate, so ultimately I just want to make sure you're taken care of. We can maybe revisit that, okay? But it's up to you.
Okay.
So, Jim, the second most important reason that I'm here is to help you activate those permanent benefits. But before I can go any further, Jim, I just got to remind you that these benefits are private. They have a certain philosophy, right? And that philosophy is that these benefits that I'm about to show you, they should have been taken care of a long time ago, right? And if you don't already have these benefits, it's important to get them taken care of now. Because number one, you need them. And number two, if you're not able to get this done now, you never will. Or you can't, because you won't be able to qualify for it. But either way, we'll go ahead and we'll fill out that report form at the end. That just lets them know that I met with you and we were able to go over everything. Now, just because you've been a member in good standing with the Abate for the last 30 plus years, it doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get in. Unfortunately, you have to be able to qualify. So if they find out you're too high of a risk in any certain area, they're not going to be able to let you in. So they'll just have me ask you a few questions, Jim, to see if we can go any further for you here. So,
Okay.
Jim, do you have any terminal illness, Alzheimer's, or are you using oxygen?
No.
Okay. Any internal cancer in the past 2 years? Breast, colon, pancreatic?
No.
Okay. And in the last 2 years, have you had a heart attack or a stroke?
No.
Do you use tobacco or marijuana in any form?
I do smoke cigarettes.
Okay. And since you're a young man?
Real young.
All right. No worries. And we'll see. And do you have any health issues that run in your family?
No, not really that I can think of.
Not really.
My dad was 90. All my grandparents were in their 90s.
Okay.
So, I guess the only terminal thing I have is when I hit 90. So
I see. All right. Well, when was the last time you had a physical?
it's been a couple of years. I used to have a CDL, so I had to go in every 2 years for a physical, but I
Right.
finally let that drop, so I haven't for a while.
You haven't for a while. Within the last 5 years, would you say?
I would say yes, but I couldn't tell you when.
Okay. All right. Well, they do want you to get physicals every year. You feel pretty healthy, Jim?
Very healthy. I have no issues whatsoever. I don't take any medicine. I don't do anything. I'm perfectly fine.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and continue and
I'll take this tape off so you can see that I'm not on oxygen or anything. There.
there we go.
Now you
Come
can
on.
watch me pace. Now you can watch me pace around the house all the time.
You were hiding that goatee from me this whole time? Come on.
Apparently, yes.
All right. Well, you're not on oxygen. That's good. We're going to go ahead and see if we can move forward here, Jim. Perfect. Well, it does look like they are going to let me move forward with you, Jim, so congratulations. They are going to probably need some more information on a physical, but if they do need a physical from you, the best part is it's on our dime, your time, so they'll just send somebody to get your records updated to the house just for a quick physical if needed. And you said you're retired, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. We'll go ahead and fill this out here, and I'll be able to show you that benefits package that they have set up for you. No children under 18, no life insurance at all. Currently unprotected.
Correct.
All right. And do you own or rent your home?
Don't know till this all gets settled. I'm living at my dad's house because that's where I took care of him.
I see. Okay.
I had a house in Mankato for 32 years before I had to move up here and help out. So
All right. So things are kind of getting settled there. Might take over the home.
possibly, or else I'll be living in a van down by the river somewhere.
Well, either option sounds like a good one.
Yep.
I'll take the van if you don't want it.
I have to buy one first.
All right. So, no kids under the age of 18. Perfect. How much money are you getting right now with your retirement through Social Security?
I don't know what my take home. I never look. It's either 16 or 1800 a month.
All right. Perfect. And how long have you been retired, Jim?
Since I was 62 and a half, because I never knew when my last day with Dad was going to be, so I had to be prepared. So I got on Social Security. I got on retirement Social Security while taking care of him, just in case it was his last day, and then I was fucked because I didn't have a job. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, my condolences. I'm sure, you and your brother and your sister got a lot to deal with right now. I know how that goes. Seeing that process, and, if there's not a goodwill set up, it can kind of be a little bit messy, right?
well, everything for us is set up in a trust.
Oh,
My,
your father did have
parents
that set up well. Okay, that's good to hear.
It's all in a trust, so there's no fighting that's going to happen.
Oh my gosh, that is well, your father was a smart man, because I've seen, unfortunately, situations where that'll rip apart a family. Everybody feels entitled, and there's not a good way to divvy things up. But that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So now looking at, moving forward here, Jim, what they have this set up with is the bronze, silver, and gold programs for all of our retirees. So what all of the members are doing is they're setting aside that first $40 each week or the silver package for their permanent benefits. Now, the reason it's just that 40 each week is because it's not a whole lot right now, but it's exactly what each family will need in the future and when something happens. So some members, Jim, as you know, they want to do a little bit more. That's okay too. It's the same concept of the more you're able to set aside now, the more you're able to get back in the future. And then some members, they have to do a little bit less. That's okay as well. All they care about is that you're able to get your foot in the door of that private program, and then you can always make adjustments in the future. So I'm obligated to show you your silver package at that $40 each week. Now just keep in mind, Jim, due to the enrollment period, there are some forms that have to be filled out today. It's not something that can be done over the phone or at a later date. So if you have any questions, please, sir, just stop and ask me. I don't want to get to the end and have you forget. So I'll go ahead and show you this here. Their first area of concern for you, Jim, is with your accidents and injuries. So their concern is not that you have to pay to be in the hospital, because obviously, that's what health coverage is there for. There's things in place for that, right? So their concern is more towards the lost income while you're in the hospital, and then all the other bills can start to add up. And that can end up being a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So they realize that with major injuries comes major hospital bills, traveling back and forth. It leads to a lot of out-of-pocket expenses. So what they've done, Jim, is they've set this benefit up to where if you go to the hospital, whether it's for anything, you stub your toe running around the house, you get injured, riding the motorcycle, whatever it is, bee sting just recently happened. They'll send you $200 just for going and getting that taken care of. And that doesn't go to the bill. That goes directly to you and your family to use however you like. Now, say you end up in the hospital overnight, a couple days, weeks, months, up to a full year. Jim, what they're going to start doing is they're going to start sending you an extra $200 every single day, totaling $400 every single day up to that full year. Now, I'm not the greatest with math. Like you said earlier, I'm not the greatest with math either, but that's about $2,800 a week. You think that money coming in would help you out?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I said. And then, say, Jim, you end up in the hospital and it's for an emergency. You're in the ICU. What they're going to start doing is they're going to start sending you an extra $400 every single day, equaling $800. Every single day up to a full 14 days, because at that point, as you know, 14 days in the ICU, it's pretty serious. It's life or death. So you're either going to make it or you're not at that point. But does that all make sense, Jim? $800 for 14 days? Okay, perfect. I'm not going too fast?
No.
Great. Well, now for the second area of concern that they have for you, Jim, which is your funeral and final expenses. Now, I know with your father, you guys have just finished planning that funeral, but, you have an idea of what all goes into this, right?
Yeah.
The stress, the heartache, the planning, the time, the money, all the things that shouldn't be involved, right? When it should just be a time of mourning. It's a lot to deal with. And the reason I have to ask is because obviously it's not a matter of if, right? But ultimately, it's about when we do. And when that happens, Jim, someone in the immediate family, as you know, they have to go down and they have to face that funeral director. In the funeral business, they're just like any other business. They want all of their money or a bulk of the money up front on the spot before they move a muscle. But what most people don't realize is that it can take any insurance company 6, 12, 24 months legally to pay out any sort of a death benefit or any other life insurance for that matter. And Jim, let me ask you, who does that leave to come up with that money in the meantime?
I don't know. It's not my problem then.
Yeah, exactly right. But who do you kind of think might have to take care of something like that?
That would be my kids.
The kids? Exactly. Somebody in the family. Somebody in the family has to take that money out of life savings, which, isn't fair because savings are to live on, not to die on. Or even worse yet, borrow money from the bank, and now there's a monthly reminder of the loved one's loss. So what they've done through the private program is they've established what they call the freedom of choice. So the way this works is, Jim, on the worst day of, one of your 3 sons' lives, something here happens to you, Jim, they're going to be able to go to any funeral home of your choice in the world and say, my father, Jim, he passed away from a heart attack, a stroke, an accident, whatever it is. And that funeral director is going to look one of your 3 boys in the eyes and say, I'm so sorry for your loss. But that's going to be $10, $20, $25,000. How do you plan on paying for this today? Cash or card? And all your sons have to do, one of your sons has to do is say, my father, Jim, was a member of AIL through ABATE, and he has the freedom of choice. And from that point on, Jim, everything's taken care of for your family. The cremation, the urn, the casket, the headstone, the plot, the memorial, the time off work, the time it takes family to come into town, the renovating of your home, whatever it is, it's taken care of up front on the spot, and then any additional amount of money goes directly to your family to use whatever they need. So this freedom of choice is accepted as a blank check up front on the spot. So Jim, what they've allocated for you on your freedom of choice is $10,261. So the reason it's that $10,261 is because, Jim, they don't want you to die tomorrow. So, they inflation proof it out 20, 30 years down the road. That way it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and you don't have to worry about it. But isn't it nice to know that that's all finally taken care of for you, Jim?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, say you were to pass away from an accident, Jim. This is the most common way people pass away. You're going to be receiving $40,000, your sons, on top of that freedom of choice. So that's not an or, that's an and. So that $40,000 is going to be paying out on top of that $10,261 from any accident. The only exception to that is, Jim, when you pass away from an auto accident, they're going to be sending your family $80,000 on top of that freedom of choice. And when it's from a common carrier, that's a bus, plane, train, taxi, Uber, anything that you pay a fare for, Jim, they're going to be sending your family $200,000 all on top of that freedom of choice. So the company just wants to make sure that each family has the most money possible. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Perfect. Now, Jim, now that I've gone over the side of the program that's designed to give your family that security and peace of mind, I'll show you the side of the program that's designed to help out with your future. So inside of your program here, Jim, they have what they call an emergency fund. So if things, for whatever reason, get tight in the next few years, there's enough money built up into this program to help you out. Plus, keep it going. So as you're paying into this program, investing into your program for your future, there's a cash value building inside of your program. So if things get tight, there's enough money built up inside of your program to keep it going, or, to help pay off any bills that might come up down the road. Okay? But the best part of your program, Jim, is that these benefits are guaranteed. And what that means is, it means if they let you in today, it doesn't matter, what happens to your health, your age, or your habits. After today, these benefits can never be taken away from you. It doesn't matter if you get cancer next month or something happens to you. Once you're enrolled in the private program, these benefits are yours. You're locked in at your health and your age for the rest of your life for your family. And isn't it nice to have that safety net in place for your family?
Yes, it would be.
Absolutely. Now, like I said, Jim, my job's simple. It's just to bring everything by and help you activate it as long as you can qualify. So the way they set this up, it's like a payroll deduction. That's once a month through your own checking account. So that way, throughout your retirement, you own your benefits. And no one can take them away from you. But, Jim, the most important question I have to ask before I can get your program started is, say you're coming back from, a meeting tomorrow or, date night, whatever it is, and something happens. Somebody's coming back on these Minnesota roads, it's iced over, runs a light, comes through and hits you. Well, inside of your program, you're going to have $90,261 paying out. And that's a lot of money, Jim. And who do you want that money to go to?
Me.
Yeah, well, it is going to you in a way. Would your sons, maybe?
Yes.
Your sons? Would you like to divide it equally or put Bo in charge of dispersing and divvying it out?
That's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Absolutely. And that's B-E-A-U? Bo?
Yes. Yes.
Matisse. All right. Perfect. Your son. That's what most members do. Make sure the family's taken care of. Right?
Yeah.
So the second most important question that I have to ask you, Jim, before I can get your program started is, now that I've gone over, what most members do, which is that silver package, setting aside that first 40 each week. Jim, my next question is, do you feel like you want to do, like most, and just go with what I explained to you? Do that silver package, that 40 each week? Or do you feel like you want to do like a lot of members want to do? They want to get as much out of this program as they can while they can still get it and look towards that gold plan, that 60, 70 each week? Or do you feel like you just want to get started off, like get started off with something more basic, get your foot in the door with the private program, and then you can always increase it in the future? So, Jim, if you can qualify, which one do you want?
Okay, so this is where you're going to get mad at me. I don't want to do anything today. I want to wait till all this stuff with my dad is settled, get all that taken care of, find out if I have a house or not, because I don't want to give up money if I got to move out of here, because I'm going to need it to move. So, yes, I think it's a great idea. Yes, I agree with you 100%. Yes, 100%, I would like to do for sure the silver.
Yeah.
But not today. I'm not doing it today until I know what's happening with my future.
Absolutely. There's some things up in the air, and like you said, you don't know if you're going to have the house or you're going to have the van on the lake. Although both of those are good options, I completely understand where you're coming from, and this isn't about me being mad. I'm just doing my job, and my job's to make sure that you're informed.
Yep, and I think it's a great plan, and I think it's a great idea. But for right now, I don't know what my future is, and I don't want to give up money that I might need if I all of a sudden get evicted out of this place. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, 100%. Well, I'll tell you what. I will give you one more option, just if I can pull some strings here on my end. So, Jim, you're a man who's in good health, But for some of our other retirees that aren't in such good health, what they'll have us do is they'll have us trial their application, which just means no money comes out today. And then over the next 4 to 6 weeks, while our underwriters take a look at your medical records and make sure that they can insure you, then they come back after 4 to 6 weeks and they say, Jim, you're approved for your silver package. Are you ready to make a first payment? And then you're able to move forward from there. But there would be no money coming out for at least the next 4 to 6 weeks. Do you think that's enough time to probably get a lot of this stuff situated, and then you have a better answer of what's going on?
Well, it would definitely help.
It would definitely help.
It's like I said, he just had his funeral on Saturday. It hasn't even been a week yet.
Yeah. No, I completely understand, and that's why we would want to make sure that there's no money coming out today, because there's so many things in the air right now. But that way, it allows you to get the ball rolling with your private program, and then 6 weeks out, I can give you a call and say, hey, Jim, you've been approved. Do you still want these benefits in place? And you can say yes, or you can say no. But ultimately, then you can make that decision 6 weeks down the line. Is that enough time to, probably have a better idea?
Definitely better.
Okay.
It's not going to happen today. So.
Yeah. No, 100%.
6 weeks down, we should know more and find out what's happening with me.
Absolutely. So let's get the ball rolling. We'll have our company take a look at everything, make sure we can get you approved. No money will come out today. But if you were to look at that silver package, Jim, 6 weeks down the line, you get approved. That's going to be about $173 a month. If everything goes well with you, do you think that'd be a comfortable amount to invest towards your future? Possibly.
I don't have any answers. I like that one. That's the plan I like.
Okay.
But I'm not agreeing to anything till this is all taken care of.
Okay. Well, do you kind of understand where I'm coming from? So that 173, that's the program we can write up today. I just need to re-ask you some of these medical questions, submit your application, and then, 4 to 6 weeks down the line, if you need more time, we'll give you more time, but then you'll have an answer on if you're actually approved. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So this freedom of choice here, Jim, the reason this can pay out up front on the spot within 72 hours is because we do all of that underwriting on the front end. So that way, if you get approved, you own these benefits and they pay out within 72 hours. Whereas a lot of other insurance companies, they wait until you pass away. So there's no money coming out today. We just need to go ahead and submit this application for you. And then if you ever have any questions, you need adjustments, we'll go ahead and figure that out for you, okay?
Okay, I'm not giving you any credit card number or anything today.
Yeah, so we would, if we were to fill this out today to submit your application, we would need a bank account to have on file, but no money would come out today. And that's a promise from me, Jim. I'm going to be your guy. I'm not going to do you wrong. But your first payment would be in about 4 to 6 weeks once you get things figured out. And once we have an answer if we can actually get you approved. Does that make sense?
Yes, and no, you're not getting a bank account today.
Okay, so you just want to wait until you got it all figured out and then put your application in?
Yep, that'll work.
Okay, perfect. Well, I know there's just a lot of things up in the air right now, so it might be difficult for you to kind of give me an estimate on when you would be ready to potentially move forward. But you'll have my number, Jim.
I have no...
Right.
Well, I got what's on my phone here.
Okay. But Jim, there's no money coming out today. I just want to make sure that that's clear. Your first payment, I would have to call you to authorize it in about 4 to 6 weeks and say, hey, Jim, congratulations, good news. You have been approved. Do you want to make that first payment on your silver package, that $173.62? Or do you not want these benefits anymore? And if that's the case, we just take your approval, we discard it, and then we move forward and you haven't paid a dime. But our company's willing to go through the underwriting process for you over the next 6 weeks. That way you have something to decide on once everything's situated. But at least in my mind, it seems like there's a lot going on, and it might actually be a perfect timeline come 6 weeks from now to just get that authorized and get that in place. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, I'm not giving you a bank account number today.
Okay, well, that's completely up to you. Well, Jim, you have my number. If you have anything you need from me, I'll be your guy.
Okay.
So any questions, any concerns, I am going to go ahead and email this out to you. So you'll have my information as well as the benefit summary from your program here. Just a couple of things to wrap up with you. That report card that I mentioned. Jim, was I courteous with you today?
Yes.
Perfect. And was I respectful of your time?
Yes.
Perfect. And do you believe this program is of value?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And just out of curiosity, what was your favorite part? Was it the hospital benefits, or was it that freedom of choice that pays out up front on the spot?
That freedom of choice is pretty cool.
That freedom of choice. Gets everything covered up front on the spot. Yeah, that's what most members do. So, the last thing that we have here for you is that sponsorship program. So you do have those $20,000 worth of benefits that you can give out to your friends and family. You mentioned earlier you weren't ready to get started with your sponsorship program, but do you feel a little bit more comfortable getting your sons involved and your brother and your sister now?
No, I'm not dealing with that today. What the fuck part of how many times do I go through this with you salespeople all the time? Not today. I'm not doing it today.
Jim.
I mean, it's a pretty simple statement. Even fucking Mr. Rogers would understand what I'm saying.
Jim, I love you, man. Let me know what you need from me. I'm going to go ahead and get this sent out to you. And so you have that accidental coverage. You have this family information guide that'll help out with your will. And I'm also attaching that benefit summary for your silver package. And if you need anything else from me, Jim, you just let me know. It was a pleasure meeting with you today. Thank you for your good standing.
Yep.
Through the debate for all that time, and good luck dealing with all that chaos that's going on right now.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier once these next couple weeks get over with, and I don't have to deal with this stuff anymore. So.
I hear you. Well, take care, Jim. Have a nice day. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye.